The Google Art Project, very, very quickly, it's a project we started at Google around 3 years ago. We launched the first version on February 1st, 2011. And the idea with the project was three things. We wanted to create a way for people to access art online without having to travel all over the world. Second reason we started the art project was because we wanted the museums to find a platform to collaborate on the internet. And what this means is really when you allow cross collection of objects, what it means when you are all together on one platform so users can experience, perhaps if I'm interested in classic European art, but because I have other museums, I stumble onto something completely different. So essentially the idea is access, collaboration, and the last and the most important reason we started it was to have a very interesting, fun experience about art online. So the project started as a small project at Google. It was not like some big Google, product which said go conquer, like go and capture all the museums. It was really about, a few people at Google who were interested in this idea, and we all had different jobs at that time. I used to work in the Android team, and my colleagues used to work in different teams. So we all had different jobs, and we were doing this on the weekend with approval from our managers. Since then, lots has changed. Now the Google Art Project is in its third version. It has 260 partners in 43 countries. So we increased from 17 partners in 9 countries to around 260. We expanded the mediums. We have street art, we have lithography, we have sculpture, we have poetry. We have, from the Pitosi Museum, we have the Hungarian, poetry scroll. We have a lot of interesting content that a lot of people might not come across in a classic art museum. And that's what makes the project extremely interesting. We continue to launch new museums. 2 weeks ago, we launched around 46 new museums from different parts of the world. And every few months, we are launching new partners. The idea with the project now is to continue to grow the project, both in geographical terms, but also in terms of content, because we don't want art to be only about the Van Goghs and the Rembrandts. We don't want it to be only Western focused or Asian focused. We really want it to become a place where, any museum from anywhere in the world or any non-profit institution can come on and share their artworks. I'm going to come into the project in a second to show you a few things. And you can see some new ideas that we're doing. But before doing that, I'll just give you a few numbers. I mean, the art project now has crossed over 15 million people who visit the site from all over the world. A lot of our traffic comes from places as far as Brazil, China, Japan, India, Russia, and of course, Europe and the US are the two big markets. We have 350,000 people who have created their own user galleries on the art project. Most of you might not know what this feature is, but it's essentially a way for you to collect your art and put it into a gallery. And on the social networks, we have millions of people following this. The reason why I'm giving you all these big numbers is not to show how great the Google Art Project is, but to give you an example that there is a lot of appetite for art online. There are people who are looking for good quality, well-presented information from museums. It's not just people who are looking for cats who are smiling or videos of dogs on skateboards. People are actually interested in good artistic information. It's just about how you present it and how you share it. So this is the art project that you know. And last week, we did actually a complete new redesign of the art project. So this is very good timing because you're going to be the first people, the first conference in the world where we have shown the new design of the art project. And I'm going to take you through some of the basic features. Some of it you might know, some you might not know. So let's start from collections. And let's just, zoom into Hungary. And here you can see the partners that we have currently in Hungary. You can also decide how you want to look at the coverage. So let's say, for example, you just want to look at the map of the world and you want to go based on that. You just click this map view, and we just went to Hungary. So let's go to somewhere else. Let's go to somewhere quite far off. Let's say we go to Japan for a second. All right, I'm just going to type in Japan. And you will instantly see that you will see all our partners in Japan. So let's go into one of these partners. I think we'll go into the Tokyo National Museum. So here we have one of our partners, the Tokyo National Museum, who has given us a selection of works from their collection. And each one of these works is a very high resolution painting. And that is what's unique about the art project, is that it's all about quality. We are not interested in getting millions of small thumbnails of artworks. We are really interested in getting high quality, authoritative information. This is a famous painting called The Maple Viewers, and I'm going to try and zoom in. I don't know if it's going to work over the video conference, but you can start seeing the details that you get into. And most of you who know Art Project quite well, know about this feature. This is one of the main things about the Art Project, that every painting is zoomable into extremely minute details. Now, let's say you want more information about the painting. You click details, you get all the metadata. So for people who think that we don't care about the metadata, we have all the metadata here. You can read about the painting, you can do what you want. So I think everyone understands the zoom feature. So now let's go to another museum to show you the other feature of the Art Project, which is around navigating inside the museum. And I think for that, let's go to Greece. Let's go to the Acropolis. And here, while we have interesting objects, let's click the Street View button, and we are immediately inside the Acropolis. This is very powerful for people who don't actually have the resources to travel to these museums and to get an idea of the space. It's not to replicate the experience. That is something very important. And it's not to say that you don't need to ever go to the museum again, but it's to say that if you can't travel, if you don't have access, there is a way by which you can explore this museum. These are kind of the two early features of the Art Project, which was the zoom and the Street View. But since then, a lot of new interesting things have come out, and I'm going to show you a few examples. So let's say you are a big fan of the Dutch artist Johannes Vermeer. I think most of us know that Vermeer painted very few paintings in his life. I think there were not more than 50. And because of the Art Project having a collaborative nature, 14 of those paintings, I think 14 or 15, are now on the Art Project. So let me show it to you very quickly. So let's do Vermeer. I hope you're noticing the instant search. This is a new feature we just launched last week, where you just start typing, and like Google, we will start giving you recommendations. These are the 15 paintings of Vermeer, all available in one website. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you actually wanted to see these paintings, you would have to go to these countries: Royal Collection UK, National Gallery of Art Washington, DC, Kunsthistorisches Museum Vienna, the Gemäldegalerie Gallery in Berlin, the Frick Collection in New York, the Gemäldegalerie Gallery again, the Rijksmuseum, and Gemäldegalerie Gallery. So the idea really is that because of a collaborative nature, you're getting all this content in one place. So if you're an academic, an educator, this is quite important, because each one of these works is, again, zoomable. It's not low quality. It's as detailed as the museum gives us. You have metadata information, again, about each one of the works. We also have quite a lot of small features like slideshow. So let's say you just want to sit back and just view all these in slideshow. You can just sit and let it play. If you're having a class, if you're having a conference, anything. So let's get out of the slideshow. The Harvesters is one of my favorite paintings in this project, and it really shows the power of technology when applied to art. This is a painting at the Metropolitan Museum in New York, and I just want you to focus on this painting for a second. So we're going to zoom in a little bit, right? We're going to start seeing some activity. Can you see the eyes of this guy staring back at you? So let it resolve. It's going to resolve in a second. Now I'm going to zoom out. There's a lot of details in this painting by Bruegel. Most of you who know Bruegel know he paints a lot of details. But what really shocked me is focus around here where my mouse is. I'm going to slowly start going there. When I first saw this, I was very confused because I didn't really notice it when I stood in front of the painting and I didn't understand what was going on. So I spoke to a curator at the Met who explained to me that this is essentially a game that used to be played in medieval times. It was called Skål. And the idea was you take a stick and you hit the geese with the stick as a game. A very important fact of the painting, but not really visible. You can even zoom in to see the geese. And now I just want you to stay focused as I zoom out to see the power of where you were in this painting. So that really is the idea. And if you look at all Bruegel's paintings in the project, you will find examples like this in every single one of the over 50 to 60,000 artworks that we have. These minute details, these immersive experience that allow you to somehow have an emotional connection with the artwork. We also have some interesting new features. So if I just click artwork, you can now refine by collection. You can refine by medium. This is one of my favorite features. So let's say you want to see all the objects in the art project that have gold associated with them. You just click gold, and in an instant, you will see from across 260 partners, different objects that have gold. Let's say you're interested in, I'll try and pick another nice one. Let's say diamond. We have 16 items that have diamonds in them. Lithograph. I don't know how many of you knew, but the art project has around 431 lithographic items. Iconic posters, important, movie posters, reprints, very, very different, interesting objects that people don't associate with. So finally, I just want to show you the user gallery feature. So here are all the user galleries. Some of these are featured. The ones that have the yellow thing are featured. And I'll give you an example of people who are creating galleries. So for example, someone has created a gallery on all the cool hats in the different pictures. Now, I don't know who this person is, but it's an amazing example of how you're being able to engage with someone on something that they are passionate about through art, like hats. So I think at this stage, there's lots more I can show you. I can also show you something very interesting. Actually, I will show you one last interesting example, which is quite powerful. Let me do it like this. Okay. So I don't know if you guys know the artist called Winslow Homer. We have built a new tool that allows you to compare different artworks. So I'm going to just compare these artworks by Homer. I'm going to drop this into compare as well. And I'm going to start comparing. So this is a very beautiful example. This is a painting by Winslow Homer called The Lifeline that was done in 1884. And because of the art project having these two partners, which is the Philadelphia Museum of Art and the Cooper Hewitt, we managed to reunite the painting with the sketch of the painting. This is the actual painting that he did in 84, and this in 82 was the sketch of the exact painting before he did it. And they both now are together for the first time just because these museums decided to put the collections together. Like this, now we have many examples where we are seeing collections taking advantage of other collections to create these type of examples. So I'm going to stop now because I have no idea what you all are thinking. And it will be nice to hear some questions or some reactions.
If it's possible for a museum to join, or is this, how is the procedure of joining the project?
It's very simple. If you're interested in the project, a lot of people don't know this, but we are not actually selecting museums. It's open for any, the main criteria is it should be a museum. It should be non-commercial. It can be a foundation also, no problem. And you can just essentially sign up. There's a form. I'll just show you right now. If I can, let me try and share my screen again. No, I can't. But basically, If you are interested in joining the project, there's a sign on our website below called About the Project. And if you click the About button, and if you go down, you will see a section called Partner with Us. If you just send us your information through that link, someone will get in touch with you and send you the online contract to get started.
What licenses are you ready to sign, and under what licenses you are working in general?
So the way we handle the licensing is all the content is owned by the museums. So Google does not ask for ownership of the content. The only thing in which we ask for the permanent license is the Street View images, because they are low resolution images that go into Google Maps as well. But all the artworks, for example, all the museums that we've signed, they own the content and they license it to us for a perpetual license to use in non-commercial activity. So essentially, it's a clause that has now been accepted by a lot of museums.